Howdy, caveman here. Getting used to the introduction. Driving down the road towards Chipley, towards the farm. Today's passage is just a bit of reflection. Got to carve out 2 days, barely, day and a half to go camping up in some mountains. If you know who I am, you know I grew up in the mountains in Montana. So I use the word mountains somewhat loosely. We went up to North Georgia, took the dog and my good friend Simon, which is what this passage relates to. I do my best to practice what I preach, and what I preach is connect with nature. So what better form and fashion than camping out in a tent in the mountains? And I realized with Simon going along, he was somewhat of a virgin to camping. Done that a couple times in the past, but it had been a long time for him. And he didn't know what to expect, and there was some anxiety associated with it. And for me, I just take it for granted. I'm going to go sleep in the woods, have a fire, keep my phone off. And his reaction upon us coming back was much like a child who first discovers anything phenomenal, Disney World or something of that nature. And that brings me great joy, because here I would be willing and happy to go all the way up there, 350 miles one way, by myself, just to hang out and spend some tranquility, reconnecting with the trees and the earth and the source. But I got to experience it briefly through his point of view. And so much of it was new to him, just the setting up of camp. And then when we went hiking on the Appalachian Trail and making food, pitching a tent, starting the fire, it was all very warming of the heart, one might say. So really this passage is just to urge everyone repeatedly, over and over again, to get out into nature, because that is where there is stillness and there's quiet, and yet there is much to be heard and much to be seen and even more to be felt. And you will find, as you sit there staring into the fire, that thoughts start to form that may not otherwise have the opportunity if you're constantly in the city or in your apartment, bombarded by technology, electromagnetic frequencies. Instead, you can more easily resonate with the frequencies of the earth. And you'll discover there's a language in and of itself, one that supersedes what we think of as language and communication and verbal translation. But it speaks to you through the heart and through the gut and through the mind, but primarily through the heart. So, should you endeavor to go camping where we did, you can look up Cooper's Creek. It is north of Suches, north of Dahlonega, up there in the top of Georgia. Phenomenal place. I highly recommend it. Go out there, rediscover yourself, taste a little bit of nature, and come back satiated in a way that you might not otherwise expect.